Alright, we'll go ahead and play some requests. That sounds good. I'm down with that. Let's go and do that while we wait. There will be no trailers today.
You guys want to join in on me?
For sure. For shizzle.
Great. Awesome. So with only 156 players, the tournament's a bit on the light side. No pun intended.
Pun not taken. Anyways, you're not in a game.
Only 5 preliminary rounds. Okay, I just was invited and said yes.
Awesome.
I'm downloading content. I'm downloading content. It says LMD and ActionJesus. I'm downloading content and it's stuck at 8%. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna ask him to invite me again.
I asked Action if he can send me the invite because you're stuck. Alright, LMD has sent me the invite. So Jim, if you can
I'll give it a shot. I'll see if it'll... There it goes. It downloaded instantly this time. Cool. I don't know why it would try to download Scrap Station.
Yeah, that's weird.
But it did.
Well, that's BattleNet for you.
Info's up.
Got a Zerg mirror.
Right.
And it's going, to be a ZVZ LMD against ActionJesus right here in the next game of the SC Vision Cup. Here's an intro for you.
From the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready for Ember TV.
And with that being said, we are here at the SC Vision Cup number 14. Sorry about that. LMD fighting ActionJesus ZVZ on Scrap Station. And, should be an interesting match. What are you thinking, Jim? What are you thinking?
Well, it's hard to say. It'll be interesting if it gets to see if it ever gets beyond Zerglings, Roaches, and Banelings.
That's true. It could be a Ling Bling type of game.
Or it could be another 6-pool. Who knows?
Yep.
We shall see.
We definitely shall. We wait for the loading to finish up here.
It might be Zerglings plus drones.
LMD spawning over in the 3 o'clock position as the green Zerg, and up here at the 12 o'clock, the only other spawning position on Scrap Station is the pig Zerg piloted by ActionJesus. And why don't you go ahead and take it away from there, Jim?
All right. So both of these players are good, so this should be a good game. We've seen LMD go a long way in previous Craft Cups, but we don't have any rankings information on the German ActionJesus from Denmark, famous for cheese builds, but we're not going to see a cheese build here because we're seeing nothing but drones from ActionJesus. Now, if we take a look, let's see who builds the first spawning pool. It's a bit of a game of chicken. It's always a fight between what do you want, economy, or do you want, or do you want fighting units? And it's sort of a game of chicken to see who gets the spawning pool last. LMD's Overlord and ActionJesus Overlord have entered enemy territory, and so they'll now have a full view of their enemy. First building for ActionJesus is an extractor. First building for LMD is an extractor as well. LMD got his extractor about 15 seconds earlier.
Yeah.
And it now completes.
But
ActionJesus lays down a spawning pool.
And the spawning pool has been placed down by LMD, but it was a little bit later than ActionJesus placing down his spawning pool. So ActionJesus did catch up a little bit on the timings there with his spawning pool placement.
Well, both players at 13 drones. We basically have an even game at this point. Totally mirrored by both players. and it appears as though both players will get speed Zerglings around the 5-minute and 15-second mark. We're now almost 3 minutes into this round 3 matchup. ActionJesus entered round 3 by virtue of a 6 pool, which you saw right here on imbalanced.tv, home of Nonstop Starcraft action.
That's right.
Now, interesting, LMD gets the Zergling speed upgrade, but continues to mine from his extractor. ActionJesus has only got 1 harvester on the extractor, so I'm not sure what ActionJesus is up to, but he's not interested in mining as much gas.
We do see
as LMD is.
The speed is, you probably have mentioned it, but going down
Baneling Nest players as well. Yeah, Baneling Nest for LMD. And yeah, so I guess the purpose of the reason LMD continues to mine so much gas is because he's planning on getting Banelings soon.
Yep. We do see Zerglings making their way across the map now, passing each other, giving each other a few high fives along the way.
And the Queen ought to put in it. Well, interesting. What is going on?
Yeah.
LMD
He's
is
going
moving
right after ActionJesus' Overlord, knowing that it is a prime target and that it could supply block ActionJesus. We see a couple of Zerglings back here sitting in the right-hand side of ActionJesus' base, morphing to Banelings now, queued up to go right for the mineral line, and ActionJesus will see this and go after these Banelings.
And that'll put an end to that threat.
That's right. Speedlings are
However,
done for both.
A couple more Banelings, though. A couple of more Banelings. ActionJesus is going to catch those as well. So LMD's little Baneling trickery will not work on the Great Dane.
And these Banelings are these Zerglings are running back to their base with their tail between their legs.
Running for their lives. Now they're going to fight with
the
Queen.
Queen!
Or is the Queen going to go down?
It's going down, Jim. It's going downtown. It gets taken apart.
Well, he's got a second Queen here. Now, he should be able to fight this off, but he's going to lose a lot of drones. Or, no, he's not going to be able to fight it down. And that's it.
GG is called. ActionJesus takes win number 2 and pushes forward to round number 4. LMD, sorry to say, is out of here in this ZVZ matchup. So it looks like we've got another game for you here right now on Shakira's Plateau. Brought to you by Fire Silver. And here we go. It's going to be Cyclone against Lefty here. Cyclone is a very powerful player. We've seen him make it quite far in Craft Cups, and I think we've seen him make it far in SC Vision Cups as well. He's just a good player, regardless.
Also made Beastie QT rage.
Yeah.
Which hasn't been hard to do lately, actually, unfortunately.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well said, Jim.
Anyways, we've got a ZVP happening right here. Countdown has finished. We are in the loading screen, and we're ready to bring you guys the next matchup. It is going to be Cyclone against Leafy. Shakira's Plateau. Rage against TMC. And it looks like these players, Rage Cyclone, sitting at about 4,000 elo points, is spawning at the top of top right of Shakira's Plateau as the Red Zerg, and down here at the bottom left is TMC Leffy, who has about 3,700 elo points and is about ranked 500 in the EU ladder, compared to Cyclone being ranked 187. So we'll see if Leffy is going to be able to hold off Cyclone. And Cyclone, by the ranking statistics, is the more favored player in this matchup. With all that being said, Fire Silver, take us into it.
Yeah, man, I'm not sure if you saw that in the chat, but Leffy's saying Zerg is too much of a weak race to play.
I did see that.
I think Cyclone's going to show him, how it's done. Leffy's saying he's been playing Protoss a lot lately, so don't know why, but PvZ is actually my worst matchup with Protoss. So I don't think he is feeling very confident in this matchup against someone who's plays Zerg at a master level such as Cyclone. we do have the 9 pylon at the ramp for Leffy, standard opener, chrono boosting out his first 2 sets of probes, and sending in his probe, to scan around the base, check for any overlords, as if he is in close air position, that is where the overlord will most likely end up being. However, he does place down his 12 gateway, 15 gateway, what am I saying, and Cyclone putting down a 14 pull by the looks of it. It's still droning up, no assimilator as of yet, so we could see a delayed hatch opening from Cyclone. Meanwhile, Leffy is securing his gas and getting another pylon down. We'll be transferring onto that gas very, very shortly, and Leffy's probe going to go scout, check for any sort of early expansion and what type of build Cyclone is going for. And as he goes up, he will see the extractor just about to finish along with the spawning pool, so he can assume that this is a pool gas opening. And we do see an expansion going down at 16 supply, so a very, very fast build, not delaying it to get out the Queen earlier and the Zergling, instead going straight for it. He must be feeling very, very confident to be able to do that. However, Leffy is putting down his cybernetics core, and as far as I know, Cyclone hasn't actually scouted. No, he has not actually scouted Leffy at all with any drones or overlords. 2 Zerglings are now on the field and are heading out to scare out that probe, as we see a Queen coming out and they've had about 50% complete. The second assimilator finishing up here for Leffy, indicating that it will not be a 4-gate, instead a more economic build. No cutting of probes. The cybernetics core has just finished up and is being chrono boosted along with the sentry. So this is something that Cyclone is going to want to see. He wants to see what kind of second unit is coming out. Cyclone has brought along a drone. He can use that to use the mineral trick to get past that Zealot and scout around. It looks like he's going to move that Zealot and leave the probe to look around. He will see these 2 gateways and the sentry, and can put 2 and 2 together and guess that this is some sort of 3-gate sentry expand that will die, and Cyclone saying lags and OMFG. I guess he wasn't happy his drone actually did die, as he probably wanted that to see what he was planning to do. Oh. So we are back. After that, seems Cyclone is lagging a bit today for some reason. Cyclone keeping his Zergling down here. Doesn't want any sort of proxy business to go on down here, any pylons, so that he can quickly warp in around a Zealot and deny a third or anything like that. Cyclone is moving his second Queen down to his natural expansion, placing down 1 Spine Crawler. A very wise decision indeed, as Leffy starts taking his natural expansion by the looks of it. He is saving up minerals at the moment, does have 500 in the bank, but he's going to go for a forge first. He now has 400 minerals. Will he put down expansion? Yes, he will. And Cyclone's Overlord just reaches in time, and we'll see this expansion. Both gates are just finishing up, as we see a second Spine Crawler now placed down for Cyclone. So he's expecting some sort of shark from the Protoss. Sharking is basically when the Protoss moves out, forcing the Zerg opponent to make some units instead of just pure drones. So more and more injections as we see hallucination, about 60% complete. And +1 weapons being researched very, very early, along with more pylons going down. Meanwhile, Cyclone is securing the gas, the second gas in his main, and one of the gases at his natural, and a third Spine Crawler going down.